Welcome back. Welcome back. Look,
Howdy,
look,
howdy.
I have friends.
You have friends
Welcome back.
here.
Welcome back, everybody, to our webinar series, the App Smash Bash. These are short, compacted lessons on how you can bring some of your favorite ed tech apps together pedagogically. We are focusing on pedagogy. We're focusing on the why behind you using these apps together. We're not just using tech for tech's sake here. And I'm so excited to be joined this evening, this afternoon, wherever you are in the world, by two of my colleagues, Melissa and Fobs. Introduce yourselves. How are you?
Yeah, howdy, y'all. I'll go first. Howdy, y'all. I'm Farmer Fobs, and I cannot be more excited about this. I love app smashing with Book Creator, now with Kami. So super excited to. I'm already seeing things in the chat, so keep it coming. Let us know where y'all are from.
Yes.
But super excited for this app smash with my buddy Melissa. Go ahead and say howdy to the folks.
All right, hi, everybody. I love the way Dave said my colleague because, we're on the same team now. I love that. I'm Melissa Summerford, and I am in Texas. So I love when Farmer says howdy or hey, y'all, because that is a Texas thing. So I'll get my
That's
cowboy
right.
hat out too. So excited to
Love
be
it.
here with you guys.
Love it. Well, before I let these two amazing ladies take off and show you what's going on, I want to introduce myself. My name's David Hotler. I'm the community manager at Book Creator Academy. I'm so excited to have you, but we need to get you into the resources and we need to make sure that you are registered for this event. So, coming up into the corner of my screen and down there at the bottom, we've got a short link that you can put into your browser, or if you scan that QR code, it will take you to a little form. You fill out the form and you have registered for everything. That's right. It's just one link. That's one time that y'all need to do that. And then you're going to get access to a ton of resources. So I'm going to show you the actual book. You'll get a chance to remix this book. You'll notice here that if I'm in play mode, so if you're just looking at the read-only copy, you'd actually kind of miss out on some things because there's stuff over here in the margins that the designer of this book has placed there for your convenience. And it's got a link to the live webinar over here. It's got a link to the resources we're going to use today. It's also got a spot you can take some notes. But the other thing is that you get all of the resources for all of our webinars. So in this, I'm in page view. This has a page for every single webinar we've been on. All of the links to all of the resources. It's exactly what you need in order to be successful with this entire campaign. So click on that link, use the QR code, register for this event. All right, that is all the bookkeeping, so to speak. I'm loving to see people in the chat saying hello. Where are you calling in from? Frankie's joining us all the way down in South Africa. How you doing, Frankie?
We have so many
Um,
amazing people in here, and we have
yes.
some app smashers who already app smash. We have some colleagues of ours. So howdy, Kyle. Howdy, Frankie. We have also from California. Okay, I
Come
have
on, Connie.
snow. I have snow right now in Ohio, and y'all have sunshine. So so happy to see everyone that's in the chat. Keep it coming. And I
Love it.
also throughout this app smashing bash, I would love to hear any ideas that y'all also have that maybe you app smash Kami and Book Creator. So keep it coming in the chat. Keep the energy coming. 81 degrees in California.
Yeah.
I'm a little jealous right now. I'm a little jealous now. But let's go ahead and let's get this
So much fun.
party started. Woohoo! All
Yes.
right, y'all. I'm super excited to showcase this, and really, we know when we talk about Book Creator and we talk about Kami, it's all about just like I kind of coined these three words: cultivating, to create, to celebrate, and really cultivating really talks about just that learning stage that we have in Kami, the create and Book Creator, but then the celebrate is really where both tools are really celebrating student voice, accessibility, and student engagement. So y'all already know I have to turn everything into a farm theme. So super excited about this. And we've already introduced each other. We already said howdy. So we're gonna keep on vibing. Holler, tell us a little bit more about this. This Kami Book Creator family.
Well,
Tell us a little bit more.
I heard, Melissa, and you might have heard this too. Some folks didn't know about this coming togetherness. So this isn't just an App Smash webinar. We have permanently smashed the app, so to speak. Not necessarily. Book Creator and Kami have joined forces. We're now one company under one beautiful purple Kami umbrella. All right. And what that means is that we're now bigger and better together. Right. So book create, what you just said, Pops, hit the nail on the head. Cultivate and then create and then celebrate is such an important thing because people love Kami for what it's doing in the classroom, bringing accessibility to students, bringing learning, making it accessible to everyone. And people love Book Creator for doing that same thing, but they use them for different reasons. And so Book Creator and Kami are perfect solutions to two different problems in the classroom. But when we join forces, we can help each other solve more teacher problems. And that's really what's exciting for me. And I know that Fobs gets really excited about that too. And Melissa, you're just an incredible icon in this space. So excited that we're now, all three of us are joining forces. And this is kind of announcement-y. We are going to sort of represent the community at Book Creator and Kami. The three of us are joining forces as a new team for community. And so I'm really excited to get started on that work. It's a brand new addition to what's happening to an already amazing coming together and partnership between Kami and Book Creator. So I couldn't be more excited about that, but I don't have enough to say yet anymore, so I'm going to hush on that.
I love it.
But
Yeah,
thank
and
you,
you know what?
Fobs.
The excitement in the chat is what we feel. You know, two of my favorite things, Kami and Book Creator equals innovation. So many amazing people in the chat that are just bringing that energy about, you know, accessibility, student engagement. So keep it coming, y'all. We feel you through that screen. So keep that chat coming. And you know, Melissa, you know, you've done a lot with Kami. I've done a lot with Book Creator, and I think we cannot be any more excited to literally be under one roof. But when we talk about app smashing, you know, why is it so important that teachers and students really get the opportunity to really get into both tools and app smash? Give us a little bit of your. Give us a little bit of that.
When I think about myself as a teacher, like different tools are there for different reasons. One tool you may need this one for video and you may need this for audio. So combining those tools, you get the best of both worlds. And plus your students are going to be open up to learning that there's just more than one. There's different resources that they can use to bring their learning to life. And that's what it's all about. How are we going to bring that learning to life for the students, empower them to take control? And you're about to see as we demonstrate on how you can give that control over to the students. So I'm excited to see what we have going on here.
I don't think I could have said it any better. Awesome. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I couldn't have said it any better. I'm just like, she bought the bling. I bring the yeehaw. She brings the bling and the glitter.
Yeah, this would be Taylor Swift themed. Let me have it.
Yep. All right. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. So what we're going to demonstrate first is we're going to go from the cultivating stage to the create stage. So we're going to go from Kami to Book Creator. And then the next part, we're going to go from Book Creator to Kami. So stay with us. Let us know in the chats what your thoughts are. So keep it coming. So what we're going to do is I went from Kami to Book Creator. And the way that I did this was I inserted pictures from a unit with a social studies unit. And so I really have heard that my teachers are like, you know, my students are reading this. It takes them 45 minutes. It's a textbook is not accessible for every single student in the classroom, but also it's not enough engagement, right? And so you can actually see my buddy Melissa's on here with me. So if you see somebody adding some stuff, it's her. All right. So what I did in this 2-minute drill was I had the students first scroll through this collaboratively. It was a collaborative document, and just look at titles, subtitles, images, and they were able to see what exactly was this unit about. And so they're making inferences, right? And then the next 2 minutes, they just kind of turned and talked, and they talked about what the chapter was going to be about. What inferences were they making about this unit? The next 2 minutes is that's where we really dug into those tools with Kami. And we use specifically the understand tools. So
I
if
love
y'all
this
have not checked this out,
one. This one's awesome.
yeah, it was a yeehaw moment for me because, we weren't spending 45 minutes reading. We went to the understand tool and we went to either explain or we went to summarize. We also can come in here to relevel. So if the students might need to have this summarized, they can come in here and they can just make this box around it and it will summarize it for them. All right. And so right now that's in English, but also I can translate this to another language. So I can really connect with everybody that's in my classroom. It also can do read alouds. I can add this also to create a comment from the response and have that right there. How cool is this, Melissa?
I like it. You know what I like to call that one? I call that one Ask a Friend, because the
Ask a friend. I
one
like it.
goes more details. So I always say this is the Ask a Friend. And what's nice about this is teachers, if you're like, I don't want this to summarize, I want my students to summarize, you can always go into feature controls and turn that tool off. So just know you always have control over the tools that your students see.
100% right there. She mentioned feature control, but also we can come in here and we can go to explain.
Yeah, this one's the one I like.
And for me, okay, y'all, I'm gonna scroll down here.
That's the co-teacher.
We have this map. Now, I think this is just game changer, right? Because, as a student, even as a teacher, right, we may not really understand what's happening with this map. And so we might need to kind of make this box over top. And it's going to explain this to us
in great detail.
Y'all. In great detail. Y'all, this is a yeehaw moment because I was watching our students do this and they were able to really understand that map just a little bit more, right? It has the speech to text. It has where we can add that as a response. So I think this is just a really a game changer. And also you can use this in math. You can use it in science and social studies, literally everything. Use that explain tool, use the summarize tool. So I had the students within those 2 minutes just use those two tools. I went to feature and control and that's all they had. Okay. The next 2 minutes, the students were able to leave a comment. So they could leave a comment, maybe 3 comments, just telling the teacher what they learned. So they could leave a video comment, an audio comment, a text comment, right? So here's your comment tools. You have the text, you have the voice, and you have the video. Now, Hotler, which one would you choose of the three? Which one catches your vibe? The text, the video, or the voice?
So I'm a visual person. I would have been the kid that skipped all the text on this page, went right to the pictures, the maps, tried to understand those first. So I definitely would have been using that explain tool on the text features themselves. And then because I'm a visual person, I'm going to be leaving video comments. I'm also really expressive, so my face says a lot, more than just my words do. So for me, I'm video all day.
You're doing the video.
Yeah, I
love it. What about you, Melissa?
I agree. I'm going to go with both. I would either do the video or the voice comment because, like in my classroom, we always start off, "Welcome to my channel." So the students are going to love that because they get to be performative, just like Hotler said, that you get to express themselves, even just talking it out. The little Melissa used to get in trouble. So I can in elementary, so I can just imagine telling your students, go tell me everything you learned or you're thinking, go use the voice comment, letting them talk it out is so powerful.
Yes, I agree.
I was in the classroom too. I told the students, if you're going to make one of those comments, treat it like that moment in the reality show where they like cut to the little interview where it's just you and I can tell you something that I couldn't say on the stage or whatever.
I like that.
And there's like a whole new check-in that's happening there with the student because maybe their voice changes and they're not being performative anymore. And you're actually like, whoa, actually, I think I should talk to them about something else. Or think they really understand this because they're talking about all the right things, but they're just not putting it in the right order. Or there's a lot that can happen in those audio channels.
And
That
you know,
is so true.
every kid wants to be a content creator right now, right?
They do.
And so that really also brings in that little bit of touch of like, you know, Gen Z. So I can come in here
Yes.
and I can add a voice comment, and I can just click right there on that mammoth right there, and I can say, well, you know, this illustration says that, you know, the early people hunted mammoths for food, and they can go on and explain what they learned. So all they do is have to click. And then what's really cool is, you know, as a collaborative document, Melissa, can other students delete and edit other students?
No, so you won't be screaming like the goat does because they cannot delete any other peers
I have
work,
one of
or
those
they cannot
too.
do you really? Might need some more batteries. Look at us. See, we're already meant to be friends.
I need to go.
Awesome. I love it. So we've learned about this, and I will say that this lesson was actually taught within 45 minutes, and those kids were able to understand what that unit was about without reading all of it. Every student was able to be engaged, and being able to really understand this unit. And so what we did next is we went to the create stage. Okay, so within Book Creator, you know, learning really comes to life where you're able to show we don't have to give them a multiple choice question based off this. We can have our students create. So I had the students create a social media migration post because we all want to be content creators, right? They were able to pretend that they were one of the first peoples migrating into the Americas thousands of years ago. They put themselves in their shoes, and they had to use an AI image generator, whether they use Canva or Adobe Express. They had to write a short post, and then they could use voice or video to just kind of explain and give it to us a little bit more. So this was our template. And if you love this template and you're like, Farmer Fobs, how did you get this? How did you make it? I did not. Okay. All I did was go to the plus sign, the media templates, and just type in snap a photo. And so all you have to do is click that and add to a book, and then you can delete, you can add, you can take away. And so if you haven't discovered our templates, you got to. And so our students were able to come in here. I always do like this little frame up here to like claim a page. This was also a collaborative document where each kid got their own individual page, and I told them, you're page 3, you're page 4. And so I like this little tip where I'll put this little frame right here. And so they'll come in here and they'll add their camera and just a picture. And so they just kind of say, howdy, that's my page. We're declaring the page, and then able to add the Adobe Express and the voice. So if you haven't checked out the Adobe Express and the Canva, just go plus sign apps, and we have Canva and Adobe Express built in. Our audio is right there where they can also record. Another little tip is I like to add these little task cards off the page so that they understand just what they are going to do on this page. So check that out. They did some amazing job. We got the mammoths right there. She understood the assignment. And then that cultivating stage is they can go in and publish this book and send it out to parents. So I think that's really something to celebrate for this project. So,
you know, Bob's too, you could be cultivating in a portfolio as well, or building on a unit. You know, that could have been one activity of an entire unit, and you're snagging that page and throwing it into another book, and they're slowly building out, you know, their finished product for a whole semester. There's so much room in what you just showed of taking them from Kami, where we're creating that knowledge, we're looking and, you know, understanding what's happening, to just, you know, to jump off, because we all want that uncheatable assessment that's got too much authenticity and personalization to it to beat any kind of AI. I love it. I think it was a fantastic.
It's definitely an AI-proof assignment, but we're still using a little AI with the image generation. So
right. Well, we're speeding it up. We're speeding it up where it can really slow us down. Right. Ooh. Bringing in that understand tool, bringing in the image generator. It's just speeding up the parts that aren't in this lesson. Yeah, the image generator maybe we shouldn't use that. We should use the pen tool and things, but we're not teaching them
Ooh,
how
yeah,
to draw pictures on this. The point was get the post out, what should it say, and let's move on. I think that's
absolutely
really
love it.
cool. You know, it's like when you're going to the airport. If the entire floor of the airport was the moving walkway, it'd be chaos. But every once in a while, there's a little section that's like, hey, you want to go a little faster?
So
No
you
problem.
mean we have choices?
Well, we have
Yes.
choices, feature control.
Yay, we have choices. All right, let's keep vibing. Let's keep going because this time we're going from create to cultivate. All right.
Yeah.
And so here what I want to showcase is how, you know, student feedback and student voice and peer-to-peer is it builds one, it's building where you're able to get peer-to-peer feedback, but two, one of my favorite things is you're building community within your classroom. And so I love peer-to-peer feedback where students can give that. But within Book Creator, if you give peer-to-peer feedback, the students also have access to edit the pages. So I love this little AppSmash where my students created a cultures project or a countries project, and they all had researched different countries. And we wanted to have peer-to-peer feedback. And y'all, you can do this on maybe your students create a story within Book Creator, kind of just those things, right? And so what you're going to want to do within Book Creator is you're going to want to have the students publish their books for this activity, okay? So all you have to do is click your three dots, click share, and hit publish. I always keep it on private if it's student work, and allow remixes and turn that off. And so you have the students or yourself copy this link. So that's kind of like the back end side of Book Creator. You've given your students an assignment. You want to have this peer-to-peer feedback where you don't want students to be able to edit and all that. And then we're going to go to our good friends over here in Kami. And we are going to use Kami to have student engagement, feedback, community, where every student is going to be able to add their book. All right. So I've come in here and I've already added my book right here. And we have this template in your resource book. So if you're wanting this template, we have it. We're ready to give it to you guys. But students can just click on that book and they can read the book. All right. So they can see what they can either read the story, they can look at the countries and get that information where they can come back here and they can give compliments and considerations. Okay. So really envision this where it's a collaborative document. And let's say you have 20 students, you would have 20 of these documents for each student, right? Also, the student can leave a video or audio book review. And I think this is so powerful because we talk about student voice and being able to explain maybe what their book is about. They can come in here to add media and go to camera, and they can literally add this video right there. And I've built a placeholder that you can allow that to have it right there. Because
You know what?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I love that because you're having the students build their space for the gallery. Like here, come look at this. That's why you had them take their own link from the Book Creator, explain their own video. I think that's really smart.
Yeah. So
and what else is nice, when those students do put those comments in there, it's going to be tied to their name. So if you hover over those comments, you're going to exactly know what student put that comment on that page, because it's tied. So that shows that accountability coming in right there, their initials right there. It holds them accountable for going in and making that comment.
100%. And I'm going to ask you again, Melissa, can students delete or edit anybody else's?
The answer is no.
There we go. We just yep, you won't be screaming, teachers. You won't be screaming. You talk about a collaborative document where you can really trust every student to just focus on what their comment is, what their voice is, and not have to fight about, did you delete this? What happened? All that stuff. So I love that, Melissa, that you added that a teacher can scroll over here and they can see who did what. So students can come in and they can just grab a box, right? They can add a text comment where they went to a text box and added the text, or they can go to the comment and add the text, the voice, and the video. But y'all, while I was doing this, I really discovered probably one of my favorite ways to give feedback. And that was the screen capture. Okay. So I'm a big visual person where I feel like I have to have the visual right in front of me when I do give feedback. And if I was doing text, video, or voice comments, I wasn't able to, like, I could, go back and forth and all that. But y'all, if a student wants to have that book right in front of them, and maybe the person receiving the feedback is like, wait, what page were they talking about? What's that? They can leave a screen capture, y'all, and they can capture their book. And I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, but I'm actually able to talk through this as I'm turning the page, and I'm able to give peer-to-peer feedback on a specific page. So the person receiving that feedback can see this screen capture and go, wait, they were talking about this page. I need to add this, or I need to add that. So I love the screen capture, and I've seen it being used in math, science, social studies, ELA. So if you have not checked that out, absolutely love, love, love.
Do you know a quick tip that you could do?
Yes.
A quick tip as a teacher, if you want to collect those videos, you can right click on that video and save it and post it maybe on your website or on your class website. So that is cool. That's put it in your Google Drive, have it for a reference to come back to.
So would we add it to annotation bank? Is that what we would do?
If you right click, there should be save video as, and that is how you can save it onto your computer.
Okay, lovely.
Or in Drive. Yeah, I'm thinking here, like, the biggest part of a portfolio or some type of standards-based assessment is that you have to go out and collect these evidences of learning in these moments and showing progress and things. I'm like, that's it right there. That's the video you need right there.
And I just clicked generate captions. And so that was just another big thing, is like a student can generate the captions as well. So we talk about accessibility. So love those tips. Any more tips for us, Melissa? Because I think you just added a sticker and it just made my day as a student. So tell us, walk me through how a teacher or students could do that. What do I go to?
So depending on if you give your students this feature, you can allow your students to go to the add media, and in the add media section, there at the bottom, there is going to be a stickers button. So you can allow your students to add that. One thing I know as a teacher, what I would do, there's so much stuff in add media. I would just turn on just the tools I want them to use, because as a third grader, they're going to be wanting to use everything. So really think about the tools that you need for each content or lesson that you push out. And that's in feature controls.
Yep. Walk me through this. As a teacher, if I want to share this, right? And sometimes we think less is more, right? And so if I go to feature control, notice,
I usually like to start off all off. I turn all off and then go through. Okay, so they need the select tool at the top. They need to select. They need to be moving that around. The understand tool, think about which ones you want. I usually check the first box that will select all of them. And then the predictive text, if my students need that, and the read aloud, of course. I start with those. Those are the standard ones I start with. And for this one, we'd probably use I would either choose the text box or the comments. Choose one or the other, which one I want to let my students figure out to use.
Okay, awesome. And then also we have these support features as well. So you can have these all on or all off. So I love that you're really highlighting that, the teacher has that power to really say, I want you to use these specific tools, minimize distractions. But also, Melissa, if a teacher changes their mind within, halfway through this assignment, can they go back to feature control?
Yes, you don't have to start all over. So whatever LMS you assign this in, or just doing it here, you don't have to start all over. You could just quickly change it, and it's an instant change on the student side. I love that. So you do have some control features.
That's such a great way to differentiate. And to keep all the students on task, like you were saying, less is more. Constraints breed creativity. When I have to do more with less, I get real creative about doing it.
Awesome. Well,
thank you, ladies.
Hey, this is time.
We are right there, loving where this went. And we got so much more to show y'all. coming soon. The three of us, we're really excited to just be teaming up and putting fuel on the fire, so to speak. But more on that to come. What you need to know right in this moment is that if you are interested in getting an attendance certificate for joining today live, you got to be here live. You can use that QR code over here on your mobile device, or you can use that short link down there in the bottom. Am I pointing at the right thing? I sure hope so.
You are always pointing opposite.
Mine's over there.
Yep.
Is it right there?
Yep,
Oh,
there you
There
go.
it is.
Right
There
there.
it is.
Well, that's a fun thing to learn on a Monday. So use the link, use the QR code, get your attendance certificate, and you also get a copy of all the resources for today's and this entire series. So, Melissa, Bobs, you're just so much energy, so much bright, shining light coming out of you two.
And
I'm so
big
excited.
shout outs to everyone in the chat. Y'all, I
So many
literally,
community members.
Andrew just say it's a bright spot in my day, but it is a bright spot in your day. It's a bright spot in our day to really see everybody come and show out in this chat. So cannot wait to hear from our community how they're going to use Book Creator and Kami. Thanks y'all for all coming. I really appreciate y'all.
Yes. Thank you. Love seeing those. Love seeing the chat. It makes it so much easier to do these. To see
It
your
sure does.
people coming back for more.
Yep.
Bob, you said it right. Thank you.
Awesome.
Big hugs, everyone. Use the
Yep.
link, get your attendance certificate, and we will see you later this week. Take care.
Bye.